All right, y'all. Welcome to another Monday collab call. I don't know where our familiar weekly faces are, but it's Monday, right? So, and then there was a time change. I did want to address daylight savings time right from the jump and just make sure everybody is thinking about what a blessing this is, especially for people that are working part-time or full-time jobs, because this just extends the day so much more and gives you some really strong workable hours that you can accrue Monday through Sunday. So it's amazing. I really want you to be thinking about the marketing aspect of this. Like it creates such a larger marketing window to get things done. I've been up against like the 4:30, 5 o'clock deadline for so many weeks now, where if I'm showing property, I've got multiple appointments that day. I need to get in and do some previews of homes. While I'm previewing homes, I'm also doing marketing. And it's like, man, I gotta stop at 5. I got a hard stop at 5, and now I can keep going, till well into the evening to get these homes done. I want to try to get like 2 or 3 lake homes that I'm seeing physically putting my eyes on and marketing every single week, which is a big part of your specialization. But we should be really, really excited right now because we've got some very positive news about rates. I mean, we're looking at several weeks in a row in declines, and that's just really starting to heat the market up. So we've got a lot of volatility right now in our political space, and we need to be focused on the positives of that volatility, which one of which is, markets are going to correct. If we have a recession, the interest rate is going to go significantly down. So I think it's important to kind of, maybe touch on that, to not be like fearful or spend time overthinking how a recession might affect us in a negative way. Recessions are good for us. So just kind of hang on there. I do want to just make sure that we are that we understand. I think a big part of trying to get y'all where I want you to go, I want to be sure that you understand where I want you to go, what I'm trying to accomplish. And one thing that I have encountered throughout multiple decades now, I mean, look at all this white hair of training real estate agents, is that the new ones, especially, are so overwhelmed. They are just, it is described as like drinking from a fire hose. There's so much to learn, there's so much to do. It can just paralyze you because you're like, I just don't know what I need to do next, what maybe needs to be the higher of priorities, where to start, where should I go? What activities will yield the greatest results? A lot of that is about as clear as mud for us as we're entering this industry and we're trying to build momentum. So I want to, and I'm not going to get off this soapbox until we have some agents that are ready to step up and really step out and really allow us to follow their journey to a specialization. So what does that do? So a specialization is a singularity of focus. So you will not be able to truly experience those benefits until you make a selection, right? Till you decide on what it is you want to specialize in. Okay. And it should be, I think, rooted in something. It should be rooted in an interest. It should be rooted in a desire. So let's say, just throw some examples out there. There's a specific community or area of town I want to live in. Maybe it's very affluent and I want to go, hang out with the rich folks, or, maybe it's a smaller community where I can really, really focus on being like the digital real estate mayor, realtor mayor of that town. It gives you something to work for and to work towards. And so if you are wanting to build up your name recognition in a specific area, then that's where the bulk of your marketing needs to happen. So the simplicity, so the focus, the singularity of focus is we try to block out as much of the noise as we can and focus our attention and our efforts on a specific area, which is just going to simplify everything for us. So where I want you to go, where I'm trying to lead you, is to a place where you can have much more control over your income, much more predictability of your income to create a more stable financial reality and a financial future that is just full of growth opportunities, right? And that's going to start with just simplifying everything, because the more complicated things are, a lot of times the more stagnant we become, just because, again, it's just human nature. We don't know which way to go. We see these agents that are like fanning out, and you're like, all right, which one of these do I follow? Right. And that's a great example. Like if you look at somebody that has a specialization and maybe they have a particular life or lifestyle, or the way that they develop or maintain that specialization is attractive to you. Example, agents that specialize in geographic farming, that is, they have a very tight nucleus, territory nucleus that they focus on, that all their open houses, all their showings, they don't have to drive like I drive. I just put a ton of miles on my car because my territory is so vast. The Smith Lake is surrounded by 3 counties, so there's a lot of territory to cover. But I know there's a lot of aides that love, just they never have to leave their neighborhood. Like their neighborhood is so big, there's 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 homes in there, and like that's where they do their stuff. So their week consists of going out and previewing homes in that subdivision. So a home does not get listed that they don't go and see. And sometimes I'm sure something will sell too quickly for them to see it, but you get what I'm trying to say. I mean, they know their inventory. They make it a point to really get to know the people in that subdivision. They're present at all the community events. Maybe they're doing a lot of volunteering. They're on a board. They're really trying to give back to their community. And they're just constantly looking for ways to serve the community, in addition to like keeping them up to date and up to speed on what's the average sold price per square foot, the average selling price, the average days on market, and all that good stuff. Okay. So any questions about that? I want to make sure that we just don't have, there's no confusion around like what's the goal and why this needs to be the goal. We're good on it. All right. I want to reinforce some of this with a little curriculum here. But so I do this all the time, y'all, and I suggest that you do it. It really makes things, it's a really easy way to simplify things. But I just went to AI. So whether you use Gemini or ChatGPT, or what's the new Chinese one that's out?
Dipsic.
Yeah, whatever you use, go in there and ask them questions. Like you could go in there and ask AI, like, what should I be doing as a new real estate agent? So here's the question I posed to Gemini this morning. I just asked Gemini, I said, what can you find on the web? And it's really, the more specific you can get with these AI bots, the better. What can you find on the web from today's most relevant real estate agents, trainers, and coaches about why it is so very important for a real estate agent to develop, foster a specialization? Okay. And man, the bullet points that kicked out were just totally spot on. So I'm going to run through them really quickly, just by name, and then we can dive into each one of them separately. But you're going to get increased expertise and authority in that area. That's kind of obvious. So what you focus on expands. We're focusing on this one specific market segment of the market. It's just naturally organic that we're going to gain more knowledge and expertise and authority in that area, which I will just mention as a side note boosts our confidence. Next bullet point, enhance marketing and branding. Listen, I think it's worth acknowledging just in terms of that in the vein of simplicity, where you're like, wow, if I could just market one thing a lot, like really double down this one thing, it would just make my life so much easier. I don't have to get up and think about what I'm going to market today. I know exactly what I'm going to market today. I'm going to market my specialization. And you're just constantly focused on that. Improve client service. I mean, if you have a specialization, you're going to have a deeper understanding and you're going to be able to relate to people a lot more in terms of what their needs and their wants are, help them like circumvent challenges and provide solutions to problems. It's just going to be a great client experience. And, there's a lot of people out there that will remind us very quickly that our I think the extent to which our business grows in real estate is the extent to which we create very positive client experiences from the nurture phase to the showing properties to the contract to close to the post close. All very, very important. You're going to gain a competitive advantage. All right. So we need to understand that we are in a very crowded marketplace. All right. So I don't know if this is still true, but during the COVID market, it was very true that there were more real estate agents than there were listings. So in a crowded market, you got to find a way to stand out and stand above, the competition. How can you stand out in a crowded market? How can you stand out in a crowded market of people that have way more experience than you? This is the way. All right. Now, this is a key one. Okay. The next bullet point reads adaptation to the digital age. All right. So we're like, what the hell does that mean? This is so incredibly important because online searches are becoming increasingly specific. Okay. So think about algorithms, how algorithms work. Okay. Algorithms are very specific to a very specific topic or field or kind of cultural aspect. If you're into motorcycles and you seek out motorcycle videos on a particular social media platform, that's what's going to show up in your feed. Okay. So think about this. How am I going to reach people? How can I reach people in a more efficient way? And it's putting out content to these algorithms that is very similar and very specific. And then these algorithms go, oh, well, this is what he's known for. Like he's the expert on this. Let me promote him. Let me put him in the For You page results. Freaking brilliant. Any questions about that? That's the extent of the bullet points. No questions?
No, it's good.
All right. So this is where it's important for y'all to give me some feedback. Okay. What is keeping you from defining yourself? Now, unless you're in a discovery process. So the only kind of reprieve, the only break, the only concession I can give you right now for not honing in on a specialization is that you're in the discovery phase. You're in this discovery process. All right. So you're getting out there and you're doing things. You're trying things. You're experimenting with things to see what is going to stick. All right. Now, I will tell you that, it might take 6 months or more for something to stick too. So we've got to be patient, but also diligent. So we've got to be consistently focusing, I would think, a minimum of 80% of our time on this specialization and giving it time, giving these seeds time to bear fruit. All right. So what can you tell me, if anything, help me understand where you are on on a mindset perspective on maybe what are the roadblocks that are keeping you from doing this?
Well, I'm definitely in discovery process because, trying here and there. And like you said, trying to see what's going to stick. But I think I like that from the last Monday when we had a conversation where for me, kind of making sense to specialize as a first time home buyers
Hmm.
because I have, a variety of people that I can reach who are in that category of first time buyers. So I think I like to work towards that direction. But, also I have some other clients who already reaching out, even though I haven't been an agent for so long, but I already have an investor who I'm working with right now that, trying to find them a property. And actually my first contract buyers now turning into my first contract sellers. So they wanted to switch from their current agent to me to sell their home. So,
Yeah.
you know,
So this is this is a part of the process that I think is very, very important because you need things to pay your bills in the meantime, right?
yeah,
So you need to be productive. So it's very important to recognize that, you know, you cannot abandon what's happening day to day. I will continue to reach out to, my main focus is I'm targeting like for sale by owners on Smith Lake, but I'll run a search for Birmingham for sale by owners, for Coleman for sale by owners, Hoover for sale by owners, and I'll reach out to them. See if they want an open house, see if they need marketing help, see if they're getting tired of trying to sell their home on their own. But the bulk of my time is focused on the lake. So it's just very, very key for you to understand that there's enough time in the day, in the week, in the month, in the quarter to do both. All right, to spend 80% on a specialization and 20% on an investor and a past client
yeah.
that's giving you more business and all these other things. But that means, what is the plan? So when you're thinking about, we know we need, or we should know that we need to be marketing ourselves. Okay, putting ourselves out there. So what is the plan for this week? And I think it's fair to remind everybody that what we want to focus on this week, we're already behind the eight ball if we haven't figured that out yet. Okay. So I have a list of 3 properties that I want to specifically go see in person this week. And I want to do marketing around those. At least 3 properties already selected. Okay. I have a CMA on my to-do list to complete for sale by owner on Smith Lake. And then I have green screen videos that I want to complete. I already know what they're going to be, what I need to shoot them on to promote local businesses. So I am doing a green screen video on the Sipsey Vineyard Winery, and I'm doing a green screen video on Lakeshore Marina's amenities. So these are 2 businesses around the lake. I'm getting a lot of shares, a lot of engagement on these green screen videos, and just could not recommend them more. So let's move into some actionable tactical training like that Alex could use that kind of mimic the process that I'm doing. Coleman is a big, so Alex went up yesterday. We went up together last week to do a little marketing training at the Roush Coleman's, which is going to be, I think, becoming Lennar at some point, but it is owned by Lennar right now, but it is still bring under the Roush Coleman branding. So one of our former agents went to go sell for Roush Coleman. He's the only agent there. He needs our help. He wants our help. We can do open houses. We discovered that while we were there. We could have free reign. So Alex, Rodrigo, a member of their team or whatever, they could tag team this thing. He could run the show up there himself, whatever. So if I were Alex, let's do that. If I were Alex, these are some things I would be doing, potentially looking at having on my calendar for this week that are going to support my specialization and support my brand recognition in the marketplace. Okay. So this is some, I think, supporting factors of this is that Alex is about 30 or 40 minutes from his house to Coleman. It's a very manageable area. There's a rapidly growing Hispanic population in the Coleman area, and it's ripe for the taking. There is not, I think, a Spanish speaking agent in Coleman that's doing what Rodrigo is doing in the greater Birmingham area. So it's all prime. So what are some things Alex could be doing this week? All right. So we went up there and we toured and we shot marketing content on, I think there was like 5 or 6 listings. Some of them were redundant floor plans. So we didn't do them all, but we got some marketing content. I don't think you should, if you're doing a new construction specialization, go do a bunch of marketing content and then put it all out at once, especially on Facebook Marketplace. Because if you create like 5 Facebook Marketplace ads and submit them to the same group, you might get on the nerves of the administrator, or, they just don't like it. So, and you're going to, I think, lose some attention with that strategy. I think the better strategy is every couple days drip another property out. So he can put more properties up on Facebook Marketplace. He can make sure that he is joining all the buy sell trade groups in Coleman County, that surrounding area. He could start marketing his open house for this weekend if he wanted to do that. I don't know why he wouldn't, but I would start marketing the open house. Now I have a whole open house marketing plan that, could be a whole other training, but it's to keep it very, very simple. A big part of it will be marketing local businesses or things to do, lifestyle components of that community. The other thing that I think is be huge is for like Alex to get with a local lender. I think it would be very, very good if he had a very strong bilingual lender that could help him come up with some graphics that show. So one of the big loan programs that Ralph Coleman / Lennar is pushing is the Alabama Housing Authority loan. So if you want to go to the Alabama Housing Finance Authority, is ahfa.com. So one of the things that Alex could be doing is going to ahfa.com and studying this website, reading reviews, learning as much as he can, but also getting with a local lender and perhaps even the preferred lender. I don't know if they're Spanish speaking or not, but it's good. We're supposed to give people 3 lenders. So maybe you have my wife, Diana will, you have Alex has the preferred lender that Jason recommends for Bolt Crossing and Coleman. And then he's got just a lights out bilingual agent, and get with all these lenders and say, help me understand the benefits, to promote the benefits of the Alabama Housing Finance Authority, which is offering, you can see on the website right in the middle, the first step program is a 5.5% interest rate, and the step up program is a 6.5% interest rate. A lot of good things to do. So you could create content on the Alabama Housing Finance Authority loan. You could put graphics up that show that you can get into these homes with little to no money down. It's a $500 deposit. So there's a lot of education he could do around not only the loan programs, but the affordability around this community. And then he could get out and promote some local businesses. And I could help him in that regard. But there's some great local businesses in Coleman, and he could really focus on, one of the things he could really be researching is the Hispanic owned and operated businesses in Coleman. Are there any? Who are they? And getting to know these business owners and really helping them promote their businesses. So it's very, very simple. My strategy is a little bit different than Katie Edenfield's that did this training with us several months ago. He just creates these top 3, top 5, top 10 green screen videos arbitrarily. I like to contact the business owner and go, hey, I want to do some marketing for your business. Can you help me discover or learn more about your business? What are the top 5 I like to do top fives. Okay. So what are the top five most popular menu items? What are the top five reasons people should want to do business with you? What are the, top five things that set your business apart from competitors? Get their input on it and then give them a shout out in the video, tag their local business, and it's just going to go bananas. All right. Now, this is a kind of a technical, maybe too technical side note, but I'm going to make it anyway. When you have a digital creator page, personal Facebook page is a digital creator. Okay. That essentially is taking your Facebook page, your personal page, and giving it some of the features and benefits of a business page. But when I go and I post in these buy sell trade groups and people like these posts, I can go in there and see who liked it and then invite those people to follow me. So there I'm building a following. So it all kind of has this congruency effect that's very, very powerful. And that's the point I want to really kind of nail down and send you guys into this week with, like the mindset around simplifying this business, because it seems so complex and so hard to break into. And a lot of times we are creating that environment of overcomplication ourselves. But just think of like getting out of bed and just knowing, like, man, all I got to do is know this marketplace. So one of the things I have on my to-do list today is to create a graphic that shows the lake sales activity from February. All right. So I got to get my February lake sales stats graphic out this week at some point this week, hopefully today, because I was supposed to do that last week. So I'm going to be creating content that is going to be promoting local businesses around the lake. I'm going to be previewing listings around the lake. I'm going to be creating marketing around those previews. It's just, it's a consistent compound effect that is just, if you can get into this long enough, you start to experience the magic of it. You're like, holy crap, this really works. And that's what I want for you, is to go, man, this works. Like, why didn't I start this sooner? Why didn't I get disciplined about this sooner? Why didn't I commit to this sooner? Because it just works. And there's examples all around us. I'm talking about agents that are making this work. But I did have something else in my notes here, because you can, if we had a hometown homegrown agent here, so maybe somebody was born and raised in Madison, Alabama, then they should have 2, 3, 4, 500 contacts, just a big sphere of influence. But there are agents that are sphere of influence specialists. All they do is love on their sphere of influence, and they make an incredible living. Shelley Wallace was one of our guest speakers on these calls last year. That's 100% her game plan. She is a sphere of influence agent. So, beautiful thing, all these different specializations, right? All these different things to choose from. Hopefully we can choose one that really is rewarding and feeds our soul. Like, I'm not, Anissa, I'm not trying to develop a first-time homebuyer specialization, but my last, like 4 out of my 5 last closings have been first-time homebuyers. And I can tell you, it is a very rewarding experience. And if you take truly like a guide, like you approach this as a guide, as an advocate, like treat them like family, like make sure they're educated, make sure they feel comfortable, make sure they're not overwhelmed, make sure they know what to expect. They have like proper expectations, what's going to come next. At the closing and beyond, these people will be like singing your praises.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I've gotten referrals from 2 of my most recent first time home buyer closings. I've already got somebody under contract from a personal referral from one of those folks. And then I just got a text from another one over the weekend that says, "Hey, I'm referring you to a friend of my mom's." So it just happens and grows like that. And it's very rewarding. So if that speaks to you, it's like, I'm helping people facilitate the American dream, then go all in on it. But I can help you develop a weekly game plan that allows you to still do day-to-day things to bring in income, but also allows you to develop this specialization. So when people think about, I've got a son, a daughter, a niece, a best friend, a child who needs to buy their first home, I need a patient agent who is like education based, who understands what these first time home buyers are going through. And I know if I put them in the hands of this agent, they're going to be treated like family. That's what you need to be establishing in the marketplace. And it is heavily content driven, but it's also analytical in a sense because you know where are the areas in Huntsville, Madison that are the most affordable. And you go and see those homes. Like, so you have time blocked out on your schedule where you actually go preview these properties. So you already have them top of mind. And then if you're smart, while you're going out and previewing these properties, you're getting some content and you're working with the agents because you're going to find that there is a small number of agents that list the majority of the properties in Huntsville, Madison. So a lot of times you're going to figure out who these agents are. You're going to develop a relationship with them. Your marketing is going to lead to a sale. And then they're going to start communicating with you very proactively. Like, hey, I got this new listing coming soon. Really want you to go see it, do some of your marketing magic on it. Because if you're a heavy listing agent and you're not, I think, if you do not have a great supporting cast around you, like a marketing assistant, some sort of an executive admin. I know a lot of listing agents that are just understaffed. They're not treating their business like a business. And so they're not highly leveraged. And so they're the CEO and the janitor of their business. And they do everything in between. They welcome agents like y'all to come in and do the marketing for them. I arrived at a closing early. It was Friday. When was it? Friday. And the listing agent arrived early as well. And so he struck up a conversation. I put this home of hers under contract. We became friends on Facebook. I sent her a friend request. She started following me and she just came right out and said, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm just loving all this content you're putting out. And I explained to her why I was doing it and what the goal is. Like, I'm not from here. And so I got to put out a ton of content to build up my name recognition. And eventually it led to, hey, my goal is to become, an agent that has a decent market share on Smith Lake. If you ever have anything on the lake that you need marketing support for, keep me in mind. Oh, I got one. You just go market it however you want. I was marketing. I had that listing on Facebook Marketplace before the closing was over. No shit. So before we even walk out of that closing, while they're doing all their things, you know, we were closing at Mark South's office in Coleman, and Mark doesn't require any participation from the real estate agents in the room. He's got it under control. He's like, you focus on me. We're working together. So I'm like, all right, let me get this listing out there right away. And it's one of the homes I'm going to preview this week and shoot video content for, tagging this agent the whole time. She's a local. She's like born, raised, like has a huge sphere of influence in Coleman. So anything I can do to kind of partner with her is going to expose me to a lot of people that she knows. If I can help her sell this listing, then she's going to have me on speed dial. Like, whatever you did for that listing, I want you to do for the next 5 I take. Bam. All right. All right. I had dominated this call, but any questions about that? I mean, I would say this to Alex, I think you are the only person right now that is working proactively towards a specialization, or you should be. I would let you know if it helps from an accountability standpoint that that's my expectation of you. That's Blake's expectation of you. I don't know if it's Rodrigo's expectation of you, but to become well known as a new construction specialist is in everybody's best interest. It's the best interest of yourself, your team, your brokerage, the community, everybody. Okay. If you are able to be diligent with this, like when I was telling you some things you should be doing this week to really capitalize, and what I'm talking about here is monetize your real estate business by leveraging Bolt Crossing and Coleman, you have the opportunity to, that would help other agents. Like Anissa would probably go, holy shit, he spent 6 weeks or 2 months or whatever it is on this specialization. He's already got a deal or two from it. I'm going hard on my first time home buyer specialization. So it's going to feed all of us. And then who knows? Rodrigo might go, well, shit, man, I've been having a hard time getting my team off the ground. I need to get the rest of my team members on these Monday calls or following Alex's example. And now I can grow my team even more because I can guarantee their success because the specialization is where it's at.
No, I mean, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was a good experience to go to the new construction site. I think it's a great idea to do a lot of content. That way people start knowing what I'm doing, you know?
We got to think about how simple, we want to be very careful about not using the word easy as it relates to real estate because it sure as hell is not easy. But it is very simple, and we're the ones that overcomplicate it most of the time. But if you are, let's say you're ready to commit to doing an open house for Jason on Sunday, and you start marketing it today. So one thing I would do is to market that open house is set up a Facebook event page to market that open house. All right. Then you could do a selfie video. Go, hey, Alex Ruiz, coming to you live from Blueprint Realty Company in Pelham, Alabama. Just want to let you guys know, or my peeps out in Coleman, Alabama, know that I'm be holding the Homes Open Bolt Crossing, Homes Open this weekend from 1 to 3 or 2 to 4 or whatever. Come out and see me. We're going to have, I don't know. It'd be really cool, Alex, if you knew how to prepare like some authentic Hispanic beef jerky. I don't know. Something. You're like, I'm gonna have you gotta come out. My mom's fixing tamales. I don't know, something.
Yeah, some
You know what I'm
tamales, that'd be
saying? Or
better.
it could just be a gift card. Hey, come out and win my, a $20, put your name in the hat to win a $20 gift card, gas gift card, or a gift card to Aldi's or whatever it is. And then you launch those two things, and then maybe you make a trip up there this week, do some more content, maybe do a video with Jason. You could do a video with lenders talking about this loan program. Because a key component here, Alex, is that people can get in. I can send you a list. You can say, hey, Jason, send me a list of rentals in Coleman so you can see what it costs if I was looking to rent in Coleman. But a key, I think, selling point of this community is people can get in and start their American dream journey right away. They don't have to save a bunch of money for a down payment, and it's going to be cheaper to buy than rent. So that's
Right.
really, really strong. But you could market I could give you a couple businesses to reach out to market, take that advice on where the Hispanic businesses are, get to know those. But just think about this. When you set up, if you had a bunch of open house signs with your name on it, and 2 to 3 weekends a month, people are seeing these open house signs in very visible areas of Coleman, Alabama. You're gonna start to develop name recognition there, and they're gonna be like, oh, that guy from the sign is the guy on Facebook, or is doing all the content, is doing these green screen videos. Anyway, let's let that be the last word for this week. I will see you guys next week, and I hope that you'll reach out to me throughout the week to help keep this momentum going from these calls and develop a game plan that you can stick to every single week. You just imagine what it'd be like to go, all right, this is what I'm like Mondays. This is what I do. This is what I typically do on Mondays. Like when your days become mundane and predictable, so does your income. All right, y'all. See ya.